these ones are bubble gum, and I think this one's buttered popcorn. But that one, it's really overpowering, so just don't eat too many of them at once. But you can make hello.
I don't know if I'm going to eat any of them because your fingers have been on every single one, and not just like brushing, but gripping, squeezing.
My hands are really clean.
If there's one thing I will say about Steph, she has clean hands. How is everyone doing? We had a good conversation about beans, and I was just yelling at Pete to go live because I'm ready to make content. This is Answer. I am Nick.
I'm Steph.
Ask us anything. It's Friday.
We have snacks. Ready to go?
Oh my god. I accidentally made Earl Grey.
Oh, Earl Grey's great.
I haven't had Earl Grey since I was a boy, and my grandmother.
Great tea.
And she would give me those little sugar-covered apricot things. You know, apricot cubes
with coconut?
Coconut, yeah, and sugar. I mean, there was always sugar. Wow, Earl Grey, a whole new world.
Bergamot.
A whole new world.
Floral.
How's everyone doing? Sorry about all the tea talk.
Well, we had pee talk earlier. Fly talk?
Fly talk. Specifically fly talk, not pee talk. Although I did say whiz bombs. Answer. So, how does this work, Steph?
Well, we have pre-prepared some questions that were sent in using the hashtag answer. Ask Nick and Steph anything. And then we'll just throw it out to you guys for some live questions.
10 out of 10 tea discussion, says Helen Burke. So we're doing something right. Apricot delights.
Apricot delights.
Apricot delights.
I have to say they were not something that were part of my childhood, but I'm aware of them.
Your father is South African, so that makes sense. That for some
my
reason,
father is South American.
I just don't believe it.
He's from Argentina. He speaks Spanish.
But you don't have.
And his grandparents were Danish.
But you don't.
His parents, my grandparents were Danish.
But you don't have a charming South African lisp. It's not Stephanie. Is that racist?
A little bit.
I'm just asking the room. Oh,
And just South Africa.
I got a very slow turn from Pete and Will going, this was their face. Is that racist? So, that's not a good start.
Where are your parents from? Like, what is your...
Heritage?
Like,
Because
heritage.
they were both born in Australia. But, going back, English?
Irish. Yeah.
Scottish. Why does they come? Whiter than this Earl Grey, which is actually quite dark. Shut up, Nick. Stop talking about race-related issues and start talking about questions that we can answer. Pete, roll the titles.
There's no titles.
There's a title. There's a title cut. Yeah.
We can do the titles.
You had a cup of tea, and I was going like this. But we look like the Simpsons.
Okay. Can you take a hint?
Our first question comes in from Daniel Grant. Bring back the table. #Tablegate.
So, listen.
We can't. We promised it to the viewers as part of the mega prize pack at the end of the year.
Sometimes things just don't work out between people and set pieces, and sometimes you just have to let them go.
Yeah.
And the table was one of those things.
Yeah.
We tried to make it work.
We did.
They were disruptive and rude, to be honest.
Yep.
They were scene stealing.
They?
I mean, like, it's like a...
Oh, the table.
I don't know if it's a he or a she, so I'm referring to it as a...
Oh, right. As
the
sure.
collective
Okay,
they.
sure.
You know?
Yeah, Stephanie...
Gender neutral.
Is, of course, going and saying the table does not have a personality. It just sat there looking ugly. And we were like, no more!
I think it did have a personality. I think the personality was obtrusive.
That is very true. Obtrusive personality. The table will not be coming back. I don't even know.
Let it go.
I actually don't know where it is now. We left it up on the corner, and we did a whole bit in the TV show about how, we'll just leave it there.
You
that
know
feels
what's
like
gonna
someone
happen.
else's problem. Apparently it was someone else's problem because it's not here anymore. And I don't know where it is.
You know what's going to happen? It's going to appear in some future, 7 TV show, like a home reno show or something like that.
Hopefully they can give it a makeover.
Yeah, and we'll be like, that's our table.
They'll sand it back, and it'll be this beautiful table
Oh,
underneath, and we'll be like,
yeah.
no, what did we do?
Like House Rules will make it some, spangly new table, and the guy that goes like this will be like, it's the best table I've ever seen.
That's very true. I know this seems like a lot of cross-promotion, but it could be on Hell's Kitchen, and it could be like the best chef. Because I don't think many of those celebrities will be good chefs, and I think that's the point.
What will the table cook?
What will the table... if you were a table, what would you cook?
Something not sticky, because
Yeah.
I hate a sticky table.
Yeah, no jokes come to mind either.
Next question.
I hate a sticky table.
Jess.
At a bowl of oats.
At a bowl of oats. Oh, porridge. How did you get into games journalism, and was it what you expected? That's a really good question. I totally fell into it, and even still, I struggle with the term journalist because my journalism is on TV in a very live streamy way.
I'm here to tell you we're not journalists.
But thank you. I play a lot of games, and I always really love to write. So I think the key thing is just being able to write and really enjoying writing critically and observationally about things. So I was always a big fan of Good Game, the show that I was on before, that we were both on before.
Thanks for remembering.
And I think when I never really thought television presenting was something that I would be interested in doing because I didn't think that there was a production element involved in presenting.
What did you want to do before you were on TV?
I wanted to be an actor. I was big into theatre.
That's right.
I was big into theatre. I've liked any kind of escapism, pretending to be someone else, writing books about other people's lives, watching movies about other lives.
Pole dark.
Games, playing games, and living other experiences. Basically anything to escape
real life.
Reality.
Yeah, wow. It got dark.
So everything that I've ever wanted to do in life has involved that, except when I was a kid, I wanted to go to the Olympics and ride horses.
As in, like, dressage or
not dressage,
show jumping?
Like show jumping and eventing. And
wow.
I wanted to be
that is
an equestrian.
Just the most entitled thing I've ever heard.
It ended up being incredible because I had no idea what television presenting could be when you're producing your own content and coming up with things, and it was awesome. It was not what I expected, but in a good way.
I fell into it arse backwards. I made other television shows, and the executive producer who was on one of those shows was like, come work on this show about video games, and I said sure, because I play a lot of video games. And then I never left. And I spun it into a career, and one day I'll be too old to play video games, and none of you will watch, because you'll be like, who's this old man telling me what's cool? And I'll be like, screw you, kid, and then I'll flash you and run away.
You're a great writer, and you had a background in like news and current affairs, which is awesome because you're all like quick satire and stuff.
Yeah, I got something.
When I say news and current affairs, I mean news satire.
Yeah, not news and current affairs. Again, cannot stress enough. Never broken a story in my life. My
dad wants me to be a newsreader. That's what he's always wanted.
The South Africans are mad about news.
He's Argentinian. He's an Argentinian Danish man.
Yes, he is. Next question. Elizabeth at Main Muse. Are there any games you'll never play? And if so, why? Ooh.
I will never play Hatred.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Postal.
I just don't want to feed that.
Yep.
Not even out of curiosity. I don't want to give them my money. I don't want to give it my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Giving us all a bad name. I shouldn't have even mentioned it. Don't Google it.
You shouldn't have. I will never play Destiny 2. I'm just putting that out there. Do not watch next week's episode of the TV show.
Pretty sure you're playing it next week.
All right. No, I mean, I'm with you. I think any game that's doing something that's just like...
Toxic
is the word. But I think there's no genre that I'll never try.
No.
There's no, like... At least I can't think of. Like, there's nothing where I'm like, oh, I will never do that unless it's something that's actively damaging.
It's the best thing about this job is that I've been able to play and experience more genres of game than I ever probably would have in my entire life. Just because I'm a creature of habit and I know what I like and I'll stick to the same things. But through this job, whole new world.
RTS,
whole new world.
MOBA, those sexy match 3 games that on Steam are all censored. We play them all. Next question. Lachlan Orton. Will you ever have competitions that don't involve us photoshopping images? I ain't great at photo editing.
Here's the thing. It's not about how good you are at Photoshop necessarily. It's about the creativity of the idea.
Did you see who came as the second winner in last night's episode?
You can use... I'm not great
talking to Perky. Perky, we love you.
I am not great at Photoshop, but damn it if you can't do some great things in MS Paint.
That's very true. And also, there was one that made me laugh so hard straight away from last night's competition about the table. I think it was the first one that I saw, and it was just the exact same picture, but they had put the spinning top from Inception.
From Inception!
Yeah, and I was like, that's the easiest photo job in the world. You just cut that out.
Because it was all about the idea, not about the Photoshop.
Exactly, it was like a great idea. And
it's
to
like,
answer your question...
was the table ever there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
To answer your question, potentially we might do things that aren't Photoshop competitions. The reason we like Photoshop competitions is that it is as low a bar of entry as you can get, but still getting you guys to produce something visual. And visual things work for television. We can't have you writing stories. And I saw some people suggesting things like do a game where you can like spy what changed on set or like a theme or something, and we'll let you know.
But how do we pick a winner from that?
How do we pick a winner, and how do you not cheat by just someone post that answer and then everyone copies it and that sort of thing. So we're also let's you know what Fridays are about?
What's that?
Honesty.
Okay. I'm afraid.
Prepare yourself for this.
Oh god.
We're using you to fill time. You are creating content for our TV show, and it might just be for the credits, and it might just be for a little bit of the Monday news, but god damn it, that means I don't need to come up with something else to say.
No, but and also we like to see stuff that you've made, because then it allows us to bring a little bit of our audience and our community into the show.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of legal issues around pictures of yourselves and all kinds of stuff. So Photoshop's easy.
I don't know why we brought that up, but send us pictures of yourselves. Next question. Don't.
Kyle Mayer. What games got you both into video gaming as a hobby?
And the hashtag?
Anus.
I didn't see that. Hashtag anus. Good one. Okay, well, I mean, I've told this story a million times, but really is the game that changed everything for me ultimately, and it was a multi-user dungeon.
Changed everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because like I played games before that, and I was like, yeah, video games are a thing that exist and I enjoy. But like, what really made me sit up and realize that this is an experience that I can have that is unlike anything else, and I can't get enough of it, was this mud called Lensmore, and it was just I'm sure most of you know, but for anyone who doesn't know what a MUD is, it's a multi-user dungeon, and it was basically before graphics. It was an entirely text-built world, but kind of like an MMO where everyone would play together. So you would write a description for your character, and you'd pick up items, and they would be represented on your character in text. And when you'd walk around in the world, you'd type north, and it would be like a path appears before you, and that kind of thing. And just the people that played these games were all clearly lovers of fantasy fiction, because everyone wrote so beautifully, and the storylines and the roleplay were so incredible, and just leveling up your character and deciding which faction you wanted to join and which religion you wanted to be, and people got married and had babies, and then people would roleplay the character of the baby. Like, it was really weird, but I got really obsessed.
Did you play the baby?
No.
Okay.
I had a baby though. I got married, I had a baby, did the whole thing.
Look at that. You've already had that experience.
I have.
You
Don't need to have it again.
You got it out of your system.
Just cats.
For me, it was actually much later than that. I played games as a kid, and I played them as a teenager, but I played them sort of just like casually. I played lots, but I never really thought of it as my hobby. It was just something that I did. But I think the first game that made me sort of dive deep into them was World of Warcraft, because that was the game where I started playing it in a way where it was like, all I can think about is playing this game, and I'm going outside the game. I'm not just playing it. I'm researching online, like, how to do things, as opposed to just get through a level. Like, what's the best way to do this? What does this mean? What are tips for being able to put together, what's the best armor for this kind of dungeon and that sort of thing? And so, playing that was when I started to go, oh, this is actually, I want to devote myself to this, as opposed to just play it as something to do. Which means it wasn't until, like, my late teens, early 20s.
WoW is so dedicated to the idea of devotion to it as well.
Totally, yeah. And so even though
you don't just play WoW, you make your life about it.
Yeah, and so even though I had played a stack of games growing up, it was always just like, in the same way as watching movies, it was just something that I did, but it wasn't until WoW that I kind of went, oh no, I actually prefer this than most other forms of entertainment, and that was kind of the switch over. What about you guys? Let us know in the comments. And in the comments, I mean the chat. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, I remember in WoW when I did my like poisons quest as a rogue, I remember that just being really exciting because I love anything faction based. Same in like the Elder Scrolls games and Oblivion and stuff. If you did the like joined the Thieves Guild and stuff, it was a really elaborate quest in order to allow you to become part of that guild. It was really, really cool, and I loved that WoW was able to create something that felt unique to you, even though a bunch of people had done it before.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It was your experience.
You had to go through different places and like, you know, pass certain tests before you could get this reward. It wasn't
100%.
just kind of like killing 5 bears, which the rest of the game was.
Good point.
And it was never 5 bears, sorry, it was more like 25 bears.
And it was actually like, get 10 bear skins, but you have to kill 60 to get the 10 skins. Peter's pointing at me.
Because not every...
Some people are saying the names of
The names of the games. Yeah, good. Brian McNamara says Commander Keen, Carmen San Diego, Civ 1. Guy McGuffick says Pong. And then Caleb Burns says FIFA 2005. So that is 2 ends of the spectrum right there. Banjo Kazooie for Alison Cotter. I saw Kitty Carnage earlier, said WoW plays you. Millie Thornley, don't do WoW kids. And finally, Faz says, I'm a late bloomer, played many games, but The Witcher 3 became my life.
Yes!
And Sophie Lappin?
That's Soph, little Soph.
Yeah,
that's
Soph.
my little friend Soph.
No, I know. That's why I was saying, is it Lappin?
Lappin.
Yeah. She says Croc, Adventures of the Sun.
Oh! Legend of the Gobbos.
That's the one. It looked like a bad word when it just
Or
flashed
King
by.
of the Gobbos? And the King of the Gobbos?
Sophie, put it in there again. How do I pronounce it? Lapin.
Lappin.
Sophie Lappin. Sophie. Mrs. S.
Soph just...
Sorry, the Earl Grey has just gone straight to the noggin.
Soph has recently just hooked herself up with a PC, so she wants to stream.
I saw. She tweeted.
I said we should play Battlegrounds. It's gonna get wild.
Mick Clune says Alex Kidd. Good choice. Next question.
Oh, I feel a bit sick.
I know there's just a lot of sugar in that bowl. Is it your turn to read out the question or is it mine?
Michael Paul, can you please cut up the table into many small pieces and mail them out to your fans? I would like a souvenir piece. What a crazy idea. Look, if I
Crazy
had...
like a fox, we could just give it to the house rules people. They have saws.
If I had paid for the table myself and it belonged to me, I would do that in a second.
James Bickerstaff says, do not hurt the table. I love that idea.
I just don't like the popcorn ones.
We're talking about 2 different things. I was like, what? I love that. I'm going to float it up the chain. By up the chain, I mean, I'm going to ask whoever bought the table, can we cut the table? Then we need to I mean, it's pretty heavy. It's very dense wood.
Very heavy. But what if we got one of those like saws that goes like this?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's on its own table.
What do you
a
call
band
that?
saw.
A scroll saw?
A band saw. God, I love being right. This is going to be so satisfying. Look up scroll
is
saw.
A scroll saw.
Yep. Now look up bandsaw.
It's a bandsaw.
You don't need what is.
I know, I just like doing it because then it's like the algorithm, you know?
Go images. Kablam!
But aren't they the same thing?
No, it's completely different. The scroll one.
But it lets you go like this.
No, the scroll one's like knitted. You meant that. Give me this, Stephanie. Don't lie on camera. You meant that. You meant bandsaw. Chat, what did she mean? Steph, what did you mean?
Anyway, we can make interesting shapes.
Oh no, Simon Finn's got it right. It's seesaw.
Touché.
We can make interesting shapes.
Yeah, interesting shapes so that it's not just like, we're not like just...
It's not just hacking out a chunk.
Yeah, a massive heavy plank. It
What?
would be like you get like a nice... And we'll sign the back... We shouldn't be saying this because it's probably not going to happen.
Pray tell, Stephanie.
Yes.
If you were to make a shape, like you would on a piece of paper, as a table,
Yeah.
what shape would that be?
Like make it... Like what shapes would I cut out of the table?
Yeah.
Like are you asking me... Are you baiting the question knowing that I want to say penis?
Yeah. Next question.
Sneaky Bean.
It's not so sneaky when you're using a bandsaw. There's a lot of work that's gone involved in
I took a gamble last night and I put one on a post-it and I put it in our EP's office and I was like, he's either going to find this funny or he's going to be like, this is really freaking inappropriate.
What did he say? Do you remember what he said? I don't think you were here yet.
No, I was here. I was here.
Well, when he yelled, he saw it and he yelled out, I don't know, Patrice said, what is that? And he goes, it's Ben Dixon. And then he said, she said, how did you know? And he said, what did he say?
I think we should move on from this, just in case.
Yeah, okay. He said something very funny. Anyway, this is a great story for people who can't hear the end of the story. Next question.
Boop, boop.
Similar to how popular emo music has become way more popular during the early 2000s, especially with teenagers and younger people, do you think your tastes in games change in a similar fashion? Right.
I mean, I feel like my taste in games has changed as the technology has gotten better and we've had a greater breadth for like broader experiences.
Yeah.
So I really like, I used to really like kind of more. Because I've always really liked open world fantasy games. It's always been a big thing.
Even Your Mud was an open world.
I will never not like that, but I really love the kind of cinematic and narrative driven gaming experiences like Uncharted or The Last of Us and
I don't think my tastes
weird David Cage things.
I don't think my tastes have changed. I think more have been added as new genres have been created. But when I was a kid, I liked platformers, and I like platformers now. I liked MMOs. When they came out, I liked MMOs, and I continue to like that sort of style of game. I don't think I went through a phase where I was like, oh, I love shooters, and now I don't really like shooters.
No.
I was always kind of like, oh yeah, this is fine. I don't really play things now where I feel like I don't really not play things now where I feel like, oh, that's all I used to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play more different kinds of things, but that's just because more shit got invented.
Yeah, totally. Good call.
Excellent.
Can I just say, this chocolate was bought for us by Little Will, who didn't realize that it's actually by a company called Sweet William.
Didn't realize my butt. He knew. He baited this moment. He knew
Sweet
you were
William.
going to say that. He just wanted to hear you say Sweet William.
Sweet William.
Sweet William. Is it good? I bet it's not.
I don't know yet.
I bet it tastes terrible.
It's got bits of stuff in it. That's a good start.
Just like Will. Moving on. Is it good?
I mean, it's naturally sweetened with sweetener instead of sugar.
Oh, God. Pete's thrown up a hand. He was like, why'd you throw the question? We're just going to keep talking about other things. But it's Friday,
That's how
Pete.
we roll an answer.
It's Friday.
Sometimes we go to the question, sometimes we come back.
Yeah. Roll the question. About the chocolate. Well done. We both went there. I'm very proud.
I knew where you were heading.
Okay. Come on. Pete, let's do the question.
Anna Matchett, thoughts on Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator, or DDA DDS?
Dads.
We cannot wait to play that game.
You'll see our thoughts next week. But I'm very excited.
For those of you who don't know, Dream Daddy Simulator is a simulator game where you get to find hot dates for hot dads.
Yeah, with other hot dads. You could be a lumberjack dad, and you meet like a goth dad. And then that happens, which is just two dads kissing, or maybe just touching fingers. That's how dads make love. That's how babies made. Dad babies. Pete, shit. Cut to a question. Stevie M. Edwards, what does Nick smell like? I assume terrible.
No, you have a nice, like, comforting manly scent.
Thank you.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I mean, I'm paranoid about that. I'm always worried that I smell. Not
Really?
because no, because why would I? Like, I do zero physical activity. Is this, do we want a second opinion?
Yeah, it's like a doona. Like it's like a comfortable.
You have to come down and say that. It's
It's
just
like
your.
a-
It's just a head
That's all I am.
missing from.
It's like a comforting doona smell.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
smell like a comforting doona. I think that's pretty good. And if I cover myself in sawdust, then I'd smell like a doona with sawdust. But I'll take comforting doona. So take that. Pete, who asked that? Screw you, Stevie.
Oh, somebody, who was it yesterday that smelled really good? Jai.
Jai! Oh my god. Guys, let's just take 20 minutes to just talk about what a good boy Jai smells
And he
like.
didn't even get that close to me. He just kind of walked past, and I was just like,
You could smell him from, I would say, 2 floors up. And not even with your nose, but with
but
your
it
heart.
wasn't like in an overpowering, like, wow, you wore too much cologne kind of way. It was just like, you've clearly thought about this morning, what scent you wanted to give into the world.
Yeah.
And you made that a bold choice, and it worked.
Jai's our production assistant, and he just, I don't know, he smells like hope. He smells like hope and someone who puts our set into place. And I just think that's lovely. He's also got a sharp haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on Team Jai. Team Jai? Yeah.
Well, what's the other team?
Team Will?
Oh, then I'm on Team Will.
Oh shit, Jai. I'm so sorry. I hope you don't watch it. But you still smell great. Next question. How is it that Pete knows everything about everything? Does he have superpowers? What superpowers would you guys want? Wow. Really took us for a ride there, Dean. Pete, how do you know everything about everything?
Encarta.
Encarta. Which version?
Encyclopedia 96?
95?
The 87 version.
87?
87. I feel like then you only know up to 87.
Yeah, that would make sense. And in fact, probably up to 86, because I bet they did that thing like it's FIFA 18, but it comes out this
Peter
year.
was born in 1990, let's just point out.
He wanted to catch up on everything he missed.
Books last
He needed-
longer than a year.
He needed to know everything that happened up until that point.
You meant the actual book version. I thought you were talking about the old CD-ROM.
Oh god, Encarta, everyone is saying.
Do you remember that game Mind Maze? Mind Maze?
No, I never played it. I
It was
remember
on
Kid
Encarta
Picks.
Encyclopedia. I think it was 95, maybe 96.
Yeah.
And
Pete, what year was it? You would know. You know everything about everything.
can
Sorry,
you
which?
Oh, wait, what was that? Sorry, you didn't hear the question?
95, mate.
can you look up Mind Maze Encarta on YouTube, please?
95, mate.
It was a general knowledge medieval extravaganza
Yeah.
where you had to answer questions, general knowledge questions about the world.
Sounds terrible.
It was.
Right, okay.
But I guarantee
Okay, just
you,
making sure.
a lot of people here would have been like, that was a big part of my childhood.
I'll tell you what, though. I reckon that's one of
There
the
it is! Well, it's coming.
pre-2008 versions of Microsoft Encarta.
YouTube.
Hang on a second.
YouTube.
Hang on a second. There is a 2008 version of Encyclopedia Encarta? Microsoft Encarta?
Just go to YouTube. Questionnaire. Mind Maze. Yeah, that's the one.
Hang on
That's
a
the
second.
theme.
Hang on a
We want to see
second.
full gameplay.
Full screen it, Pete. Full screen it. Pete, is it on the stream?
No, of course not.
You know everything about everything. Why can't you figure that out?
It's a slow process.
Click in the middle of the video. I think I recognize this, and I'm having it's like an acid trip.
I'm worried that this is just like the song and not the actual game.
It is. It seems to just be a frozen image. Yeah,
What
because it
about-
says theme.
Go back.
It says
I
questionnaire
have no
theme.
idea if it's working.
No, click the video up the top. Mind
That's-
Maze, full version. Original loops. Original loops.
What?
Click that friggin' video, Pete. God, this must be just awful to watch.
Software doesn't like this.
I totally remember this game.
They tried to keep it relevant. Many school lunchtimes spent playing that game. That and Gold Fields. Gold Fields? That was the other one.
That was
School games.
amazing.
Can I also point out that it was 1995?
Well, technically, it was all pre-2008 versions of Microsoft Encarta, so you had a pretty wide swath to get it right. But technically, also, you
The
did.
original date right.
All right. Well, does anyone know any Encarta other than 95?
No.
I was unaware there was a 2008 version of Encarta, and I'm very uncomfortable now that I know that piece of information, because Wikipedia existed then.
So funny how you remember, like, I remember our original Windows 95 install CD, the disc,
Yeah.
came with a copy of Weezer's Buddy Holly music video.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a very weird combination.
And so, like, I just know that song so well because I was like, this is so cool.
You know
What's
what?
with these
I reckon those
homies?
questionnaires...
This is my girl.
That was a good song. I reckon those questionnaire games...
Yeah.
That's a game that I don't play anymore, and I will not. That's a genre I've fallen off.
Good
Encarta
call.
95 games.
Good call.
Next question.
Did you eat the rest of my chocolate?
If by the rest of your chocolate you mean you took you snapped off a corner.
It
ate
wasn't
half the corner.
accusatory. I'm just like
Chat, was it accusatory? Because I feel attacked.
because I'm just curious because like I told you like it wasn't very good, but you still went there.
I'd like to remind you, you're attacking a Duna right now. Next question.
And that's no offense to you. I do love you, sweet William. It's just I don't like this chocolate very much, so I'm just gonna put it there.
How much did it cost?
It's like $1.
It was like $1.
$1.
Ah. Okay.
Millie Thornley, what game has made you feel the most emotional to the point where you have had a tear in your eye, tears of joy or tears of sadness? Plus, Steph, good news! I found out there's going to be a pure Viking game. It looks so amazing. I think it comes out next year or so. What's it called? What's it called?
Journey.
Journey.
The Beginner's Guide. Gone Home.
Oh yeah. I would say also Life is Strange a little bit.
Oh yeah, never finished it. First episode, didn't cry, just heard hella a lot.
Hella. Yeah, the language was occasionally not entirely on point, but I really liked it.
But good game, worth finishing.
Yeah, totally worth finishing.
Uh,
I would say Journey, like, I think Journey as well because I was so surprised. I didn't expect to be emotionally moved by it.
yeah. Some people in the chat are saying games like Heavy Rain, Bioshock Infinite and stuff. And for me, they were all good stories, but they weren't necessarily. They didn't hit me on an emotional level where I'm just like, where I got devastated. Whereas I was devastated with Journey.
Yeah. Beyond Two Souls, I think I got a bit teary in that as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Beyond Two Souls?
Yeah.
No one in the chat would have said Beyond Two Souls.
I know. I just really like David Cage. I know a lot of people aren't like super jazzed by him.
I'm pro Cage.
Yeah.
Where-
But you hated Beyond Two Souls?
No, I didn't hate it. I was just like, that's an original thought.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think even David Cage found it that emotional.
But what about, have you played the whole thing?
No.
Okay.
So I'm just really talking out of my
Because
ass.
the end is quite significant.
Right,
and
yeah.
existential and all that.
I mean, to be honest, the end is usually where they put the most emotional stuff in stories. So
Can't even move this stuff.
I know. I'm just.
I'm just going to put them over there.
He's a bad William as well as a sweet one. Next question. Oh, are you excited about the Viking game?
The sugar. I'll wait till Peter puts the question up before I answer.
Oh my god. This is so much fun. I'm not even trying now. It's just coming organically. Are you excited about the Vikings
Don't
game?
say coming organically again, please.
Well, not anymore because I'm full of sugar.
Next question.
Joel. Hacks Joel. I'm just going to get past the 40 people he tagged in this tweet. If Nick and Steph were to swap bodies by magic for 24 hours, what pranks would they play on each other?
If we were to swap bodies,
Yeah.
what pranks would we play on each other?
Yeah.
I feel like the sheer act of swapping bodies is prank enough in itself. I mean, I
24
feel like
hours of panic.
after like the initial like
24 hours of panic.
after the initial like horror and strangeness of having a penis out of the way, I feel like I just want to do things that tall people do. You know? I would just get all the glasses out of the top cupboards. I'd go to a concert and just be like, I can see everything.
Oh my god.
You know? I would just like tower over people and look down condescendingly on them. Not that you do that to me, but I'm just saying that's something that I could take
you would
advantage
take the advantage of. Yeah. That is such a good answer. I would take advantage of all the things tall people do.
You could do the same. You'd be able to sit in...
Live life as a shorty.
Yeah, you could sit in the
As
back
one of the
seat of
scum,
the
the
car
plebs.
and not be uncomfortable because your legs are short, so it doesn't matter how far
That is
the
true.
seat's back.
You have all sorts of advantages when it comes to that sort of thing. As for me, if I was in your body for 24 hours, I'd reverse you. I'd take out your nose ring, I'd get it pierced on the other side and put it in. I'd swap your hair over and do your braids on the other side.
No!
I'd take all this stuff. I'd get your tattoo lasered off this wrist, and I'd get it put on the other one.
Oh, no.
Like you would come back to your body, and I think after the experience of being in my body, you would come back to yours, and you would go, "Who am I?" There's something fundamentally wrong, and at the moment, I can't quite put my finger on it.
Oh, that would be awful. Everything about me is geared to this side.
I
refuse to sit on that side for that reason.
I wasn't going to say it, but you did. Steph has, not that she has a bad side and a good side, but she has a side that, like,
It's more
almost organically her body has favored in terms of her hair.
On
and
this
her...
side, my hair falls on my face.
She looks like Cousin It. Still looks like Cousin It. Still looks like Cousin It. Oh, it's Steph! You go back the other way. Cousin It. Cousin It. Cousin It. Cousin It. Cousin It. Back. Cousin It. Cousin It. Cousin It. Steph! And then I'd swap it all over and just really mess with her head.
But you would never part your hair this side, would you?
I don't part my hair. My hair does that. Give it a shot.
But it's not because you have like a cowlick. If you just started getting out of the shower and parting it this way, like it would go that way. But you wouldn't do that because that's not where you part your hair. That's not where it feels natural. And would you be comfortable showing that side of your face and being like, "This is me now"?
This is me now. It's fine. Daddy love Nikki now. So we'll just do the rest of the episode like.
This is weird. I feel like this is your like German cousin. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's
Maybe
yeah.
it's because I'm not used to seeing this much hair. I'm always on this side of you.
It totally is. My name is Ludwig and I produce dog pornography.
Is that a German stereotype that I'm not aware of?
No, I just figured it would be a cool job if I was German. No? Next question. After you. Oh god, you ruined Nick, says Matthew Gilmore.
This one's from Jam-Packed Jimmy. Are you guys a big fan of the Uncharted series? If so, are you excited for Uncharted The Lost Legacy? Yes. Yes, I'm excited. Yes, again, I say yes.
Yes, I'm excited too. I'm so excited.
I love it because because Chloe was my favorite character from the Uncharted series. Like, apart from Nathan Drake, obviously, like, he was, like, the lead character, he's amazing or whatever, but, like, of the other characters...
Just before you continue, I need you to know, I don't know anything about the story. I know the two people in it, so let's just not go too
I don't know
deep
anything about the story.
Okay, good. Okay, cool.
I just know that it's about them, and they're, like, together doing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, together as partners, maybe not in a sexy way, or maybe in a sexy way.
Maybe in a sexy way.
Wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it because also I feel like it's just cool to see like just two women doing something in that universe is just really cool. And
even if it's not sexy.
even if it's not sexy. Yeah, I think it'll be awesome.
Brian McNamara says, for the love of God, Pete, fix the hair.
And I think Naughty Dog are just really good at making DLC that's just mind-blowing, you know. The Last of Us. What?
Pete just started laughing.
The Last of Us DLC was awesome, and I think Lost Legacy will be equally awesome.
I agree. I can't wait for it. Cannot wait. Next question. My God, how many pre-prepared? Let's burn through these next ones so we can get to some of the chat.
Okay.
What have you done at the table? Also, serious question. Do you have to play the first two games or can you start on Witcher 3 completely fresh?
You can start on The Witcher 3 completely fresh.
Start fresh. Don't go back. It's like 200 hours worth of game you need to play before you get to that. You'll burn out before you get to Witcher 3.
You can totally start with The Witcher 2. The Witcher 1, I'd say, is so dated that it's just mechanically really frustrating to play, so I wouldn't recommend it. You can totally just watch like story cutscene compilations on YouTube if you want to catch up on the story. The Witcher 2 is still a really good game, but you don't have to have played it to play The Witcher 3 by any means. However, it does set up whether you want to be like pro Triss or pro Yennefer a little bit. Like if you play through that story, you get a sense of who those people are.
And who are we again?
Team
Pro
Triss!
Yennefer. And I believe the chat agreed with me. I believe it was something like 67 to whatever the other remainder left over before 100 is. So that's pretty impressive. Next question.
Stupid.
Nick, how does having a newborn impact your gaming time? We're expecting a boy late November.
That comes from Michael Paul.
Well done, Michael. Spreading your seeds across the land. Or possibly just in your house. How is having a baby affected my gaming time? It's hard to tell right now, the hair. I'm freaking my kid out. He has no idea who I am right now. It's hard to tell at the moment because there's no games to play. other than the ones I usually play. And I've kind of gone, oh, I don't need to play those right now because, like I have a baby, so I'm focusing on the baby stuff. But it's going to be interesting come next month when all the games start coming out, the new stuff, of what that will be like when there are things that are demanding my time because I got to finish this before the next thing comes out. But really, for me, I found that my gaming time has just shifted to later in the night. I'm a night owl, so I don't need that much sleep anyway, so I could stay up until 2:30 a.m. playing games, and so I've just sort of moved it more towards that. By the time he goes down at about 7, and then it's spending time with my girlfriend, dinner, house stuff, and then, like, she goes to bed because she needs to feed throughout the night, then that's when I, play video games. Or I just fall asleep because I'm just fucking exhausted.
Do you find that now you're kind of steering more towards one-handed gaming experiences so that you can hold the baby and then game at the same time?
Not yet, because he's not at that age. He's not at that age where he's awake if he's not eating or crying. So, and that's not a bad thing. It's just like he's asleep all the time unless...
It sounds delightful.
Unless he wants to eat or unless he's upset. And if he's upset, I don't think I'm a very good father if I sit there and play video games while he's screaming in my arms.
Or are you?
But I've started giving him dream feeds, and while I'm doing that, I'm watching TV.
I love this.
I've
I've never heard the term dream feed, but apparently it's just when you give a baby a bottle when it's asleep and it doesn't even realize and just doesn't wake up. It's just like...
It's like this. Shut your eyes. But it goes on for 10 minutes.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of mint leaves.
This looks really creepy with the hair as well. Next question. Congratulations on your baby. What should we call ourselves as a community of people who love and celebrate screenplay and what it represents? From...
I'll just spat that out.
What happened to the hair? It came back.
It came back.
It was too monstrous. How do I pronounce the first name? Zin?
Jin.
Jin Marshall.
Sin. I don't actually know if that's right.
I'm back, everyone. Sorry that my weird Tobey Maguire brother was here for a second. What should...
We've debated over this, and we feel like we can't take it upon ourselves to name you.
No, I forced a name on you guys last time, and it was definitely the right thing to do. But
if we came up with something amazing.
If we came up with something awesome.
Amazing.
If we came up with, like, I don't know. Let's we got 10 seconds to spitball it right now. Go.
Because you want it to be, like, endearing and comfortable.
Screenplayers is pretty
friendly.
Obvious. Too obvious.
Screenplayers just doesn't sound endearing or comfortable. It sounds like... Also, the problem is that the word player can be misconstrued in a negative way.
Yeah, because, like, when you think player...
Players!
The first thing you think of when you think player? This guy.
I don't think that's the first thing I think of when I think of player.
But I produce all the dog porn.
That's the dog porn guy.
Yeah, that's the dog porn guy. Nick Cadets or Hexatrons? I like Nick Cadets.
Yeah.
7 mates.
But it would have to be the 7 mates.
7 mates. That's actually quite funny. People are saying Pocketeers. You'll always be Pocketeers, but that was identified with a different show.
On a different network.
Yeah, so that feels like a weird thing for us to constantly say on this network.
Yeah.
Playwrights. Nice try, Tamara. You didn't nail it, though. I'm going to be honest. Well, I'm just judging by the silence in the room. Playmates?
Maybe.
Playmates! Wait, is that the Playboy Bunnies? Are they Playmates?
Yeah.
That's hilarious, but they put 8 in there, so that makes it not sexy.
Okay.
Screenmates?
I feel like maybe we need to move away from the name of our show.
That's why I like Nick Cadets.
And just think of something like...
Hands.
The hands.
The fingers. Gross. Fingers is a gross word. The phalanges. Hello, our phalanges. Look, I reckon, let's do I feel like a community vote is just destined for everyone to vote for their own thing, and then we just end up picking Playmates. Pete, did you have an idea? You turned around when this question started, like you were going to say something, but we started reading it too quickly.
No, I was just going to say it's the last one.
That's the last question.
Last pre-rendered.
Yeah.
Useless as always. Thank you, Peter. Handies.
Flange. And
The digits. Look. Submit some thoughts. Submit some thoughts. I gotta fix the hair. I'm back. There we go. We'll just keep it in the middle. We'll compromise.
full mohawk. Oh, that would look so sick on you.
I love it. Hex boys. Oh no, you made her do the face again. She's doing the face again. No one's comfortable with the face. Why? Because sometimes it's like, sometimes there's a moment where you're like, oh wow, she likes it, and then the rest of the time it's like, it's like, oh god, why? Cool. Okay. Suggest some comments.
Yeah, suggest some comments.
Yeah.
Suggest some names. I think it's going to be a longer process than we'd like it to be, but when we know it, when we hear it, we'll know that that's it.
But maybe we already heard it with Playmates, because that's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
Playmates is funny.
Is that trademarked though?
Not with an 8 in it. Playmate.
But we're on channel 7.
That's a good point. Play
We can't have
7s.
the number 8 in there.
Okay, but could it be, maybe it's P7AY
Like elite
mates?
speak.
Yeah. That's not a thing. But it did say, did you mean Playmates? So it kind of works, but the word Playmate works. But what's going to come up? Oh no. I'm going to work Wi-Fi connection! Google took me to a bad place for work.
I'm pretty sure isn't Playboy all like, they don't do
Playmates anymore, but they
No,
did
they-
do Playmates,
they do
and
do-
that is what just came up
They
on
do
screen.
Playmates still, I think, but I think they don't do like the full.
Oh, all the
They keep
the Last of Us down there. Yeah, sure. Okay, but nah, PL8's for real though. Plates. Why? Yeah, that's a very good question. How did 8 get involved in this?
Just because, like, they did.
Because mate.
Mate,
That was
yeah.
it. Yeah, right. Okay. Continue your suggestions. Talk amongst yourselves on the Pocketeers Facebook group, which seems like a weird place, but I know that's where you all are. And then you know we'll assign some favorites, and then we'll start a voting process, a plebiscite. We'll have a referendum, and then we'll finally figure out whether to include a name in the whatever. Next question. There's just a lot of questions where it's Nicketeers. Come on, Steph and Nick's Game Corner sounds good. Answer fiends. Okay. Let's get some questions.
There's one from AJ Styles
I-
on your right.
Oh, Nick, have you finished still playing Crash Bandicoot Trilogy? I'm sad that I finished it quickly. I'm still playing it. I'm up to 2. Talk about gaming limited time. I'm realizing now. Yeah, that really is affecting me. But yeah, I'm up to 2. Also, the job is not helping. The job has a lot of late nights.
It does.
I think someone said, have you guys seen Baby Driver yet? Pete, opinions? Pete, opinions?
He said lackluster.
Come here, Pete. Peter, come
Lackluster.
here. Pete, you need to purge
Oh, I can't say this on camera in case we talk to Edgar Wright.
Oh, you don't want to disappoint him. Oh, poor little Pete. What did you guys think of Persona 5? I'm still playing that, but that's not a time thing. That's I just gave up for a bit. Did you play it? No, you never will. You wanted to, and then I showed you a little bit.
I
no,
did.
you played.
I
You
played
played
a
the
little
first
bit.
hour,
Well,
and you
and
were like,
they were
"Who's
in-
this pedophile?"
And they were in the prison, and then the pedophile came in.
Yeah.
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 It didn't grab me. I have to say.
I loved it. I think I saw a question come by before, and I'm sorry I don't remember your name. Asking what Miles played as an esport when he was a competitor.
Yeah, he said Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, and I think potentially Halo,
Yeah.
but mainly just COD.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him. He did say it, but we didn't pay attention. It's hard to understand with the accent.
I'm sure he said Call of Duty
I'm sure he said Call of Duty as well. He definitely said
because
something.
he shoutcasts Call of Duty and stuff. So
He knows a lot about
he
Call
knows
of
a
Duty.
lot about Call of Duty.
Which is good, because he has to talk about it a bit. And if he didn't know anything about
Really?
what he was talking about, he'd be like me. Have you guys played Hollow Knight? I've played about an hour.
Me too.
Yeah, I stopped, like Persona, when the pedophile turned up. Who are you shushing?
Me. Because because I bumped the table and I was just
Oh, you're like
"Shh,
down table. Excited for Splatoon 2.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Did you get into the first one?
I didn't play heaps of it, but Splatoon 2 looks like... I love the esport angle that they've taken with it. They're like, this is going to be seriously competitive. It's going to be amazing.
Yep.
And I'm excited.
I'm excited as well because I like... because I didn't own a Wii U, having it on the Switch, I like these kinds of games on the Switch. Something I can just, smash out a couple of games one-handed while my baby screams and I ignore it.
I also just think it'll be fun when we play it here in multiplayer and stuff. I think it'll be rad.
Have you guys played Injustice 2? What did you think? I didn't play it because I'm not crazy about fighting games, but I watched all the cutscenes on YouTube. It was like a 2-hour film. It was surprisingly good. Yeah, it was really good for not even for a fighting game, for a video game story.
Have you guys played Ark Survival Evolved? Yes. I wouldn't mind. A lot of people have asked us to stream that, actually. I wouldn't mind streaming it. That is just known to me as the game where you can eat poop.
I think I introduced you to that concept. Yeah. I mean, in the game. Are Saturdays actually for the boys?
What?
I'm going to Google that.
Is this like a thing?
Saturdays for the boys.
For the
This is going to be
boys?
bad again for the... Know Your Meme. Saturdays for the Boys is a catchphrase associated with sports humor blog Barstool Sports. Well, there's your first problem. After appearing online, it became a hashtag celebrating male fraternity.
Fridays are for the men, Saturdays are for the boys.
Some old guy just yelled that. It makes no sense, but I love it. It was a tweet. Okay, are Saturdays for the boys? This is a good question. This ties back into the question about like whether women's jeans have a fly. Do women experience Saturdays?
Yeah, I would say on the whole we do experience Saturdays similarly in the way that men experience Saturdays. Although, I think I just tend to get up earlier. I'm a morning person.
So does that mean it's for the boys or not for the boys?
I mean,
For
I'd say
everyone.
it's more for the women.
Yeah,
because
right.
They experience more of the day.
Yeah, you fit in more in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sunday is for God, and don't forget that. What's Brad from Sales doing? That's a good question. He better be friggin' selling something.
He's pitching. He's
Oh,
pitching
he
to
better
somebody.
be selling. He's
He's
pitching
in a
to someone
sharp
about
suit.
something.
He's got his briefcase.
He's probably shaved.
Oh no, it's Friday today.
Oh, he's
in his loafers.
He's wearing loafers. He's wearing blue loafers.
Fridays?
He's wearing jeans without socks.
Fridays he's dressed down, so he wears like
wearing a cardigan.
A cardigan. He'll wear some just jeans, and he has these navy blue loafers which he wears every Friday.
Lucas Coombs says Brad's selling the table.
Yeah.
We could get a fortune for that if you pay for things by weight. Yeah, Brad is in his loafers right now. That is for sure. Can you sell things when you're wearing loafers? Would you buy something from a man in loafers?
Yeah, you totally could, but it would be more of like a casual, like let's just get to know each other and talk business on the side.
Or loafers.
Or loafers.
He was like, but even so, I don't think I would buy loafers from a man in loafers. In the same way that if the two barbers in town, one has a great haircut and one has a terrible haircut, you go to the one with the terrible haircut because he gave the other guy the great haircut, and the guy with the great haircut gave the shitty one.
Your logic makes no sense.
So I'm saying you wouldn't buy loafers from a man who wears loafers because they probably buy their loafers from somewhere else, and that's where you want to buy loafers from. Our next question comes in from Jack Walker, who says, when was the last time you two went to the optometrist? That's a good question for the one that I just looked down as a segue and hoped that something interesting and unoffensive was on screen.
I went to the optometrist 2.5 years ago when I got these glasses because I was beginning... It was around the time that... What?
Me too!
Really?
Yeah, 2.5 years ago when I got these glasses.
We're at
What do you
that
do?
age.
We're at that age.
We're
We're
at that age.
at that age.
I started to notice...
the early 30s.
I started to notice that, like, Peter and I were catching the bus one day, and he's like, there's our bus. And I was like, what?
Really?
Yeah. And he could read. He was like, it's the 5-8 whatever.
Oh, it wasn't parked in front of you.
No, like,
Oh, right. I thought
could
you
see
just
the
missed it
actual-
and walked into traffic.
I could see the actual bus, but I couldn't see, like, where the hell it was going.
That is, yeah, actually.
There
I
was
do
a
have
lot
that
of
thing.
occasions as well when we were traveling, and he was like, wow, those birds circling around the top of that building, beautiful. And I was like,
Harry. I need to go to the optometrist again soon because I want to buy a new pair of glasses.
oh, yeah.
So you got to go get that updated prescript.
Yeah, I think I've got the kind of health insurance that is like for paranoid people in their 30s who feel like they're going to get sick at any time. So I just get like heaps off glasses if I just go really often.
Yeah. I think I kind of have the same. I was about to ask, what do you have covered in your health insurance?
Acupuncture.
Yep, I got mad herbal and alternative medicine.
Massages.
Yep.
Not pregnancy and baby.
No, we've got that.
Pregnancy and baby.
I've got, obstetrics.
I had that removed. I was like, get that off.
You cut that out of there. I got some hip stuff.
Hip stuff?
I got lots of hospital. Some mad ambulance.
I got heaps of hospital and ambulance.
Yeah.
You need that stuff. 'Cause you never know.
Will, what do you have covered? Are you on extras or not even?
He'd be under his parents' one.
He's on his mum's Medicare card.
Stay on that for as long as you can.
Ride that gravy train, my friend. Because once you get off that, you got to fill out a whole form to get a Medicare card. It's such a pain in the ass.
I remember when I was like 24 or something, and my parents were like, "Do you have health insurance?" And I was like, "I thought you paid for that." And they were like, "Well, you haven't lived here for ages." And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Ugh, fine, we'll set one up for you."
And you're like, "But you made me. Like, why? Like, you should insure me." Just before we continue talking about video games, while we're on the topic of health insurance, I had no idea until I got it recently. Like, the whole loading if you don't have it once you hit a certain age.
I got a letter. They were like, if you don't get health insurance by this age, then it's going to become more expensive for you to get health insurance every year.
It's messed up. Every year, the percentage goes up, and when it goes up, it stays up for, I think it's either 5 or 10 years. So it goes up by like 10%, and then it stays up by 10% for 5 years, even if you get health insurance the next day.
It's like you are slowly dying. From this point on, you'll be more and more expensive a commodity.
Yeah, totally. Like, it would be harder for you to afford the already expensive health insurance you can't afford because you don't have health insurance. So that's an exciting thing all you kids have to look forward to. But then I know there are people out there like
good conversation.
Like Doug Wilson who
Okay,
says, "Okay, it's time to move on, guys." So, well, Doug, when you break a hip, I hope someone's there for you, but it's certainly not going to be me.
It's educational. It's educational.
Can you guys take us through e-tax next stream?
Don't talk to me about tax. Get a good accountant.
No one understands it. Get an accountant. Guys, look, let's just say what this is. This is the old person stream. Wearing glasses, drinking tea. Get an accountant. Don't do tax yourself. You're going to get so much money back. I hope the tax department is not watching right now, but you can claim everything. I'm going to claim this tea. I'm
also
claim this
just
mug.
like,
I didn't even buy it.
Numbers are not a strength of mine.
No, 1 and 4, and then the rest of them.
Neither is Excel. So I send an Excel sheet that I like tab to each individual cell and write things in, and then I have to try and work out how to like press the sum button to
oh yeah, screw that. It always goes, and it turns out to be a date. And it's like, what did I do?
And so I send my accountant this like awkward mess of Excel. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I take every receipt I punch a hole in it and I put it in a folder, but because I put more receipts in there, they end up falling out, and then I often forget all the receipts, and I hand that to the accountant, and then I go, just make the rest up.
Peter has his hand up.
What do you want?
One more question.
Do you have it?
No.
Oh, okay. You were just saying we're sort of wrapping for time.
He's just saying don't talk about tax anymore.
Let's talk about
menopause
and prostate exams from Andrew Bromwich. That is an
Have you ever
excellent
had
way.
a prostate exam?
No, but I've had a pap smear, and that hurt like hell. Okay. Here's the problem with answering the questions that are not health related. You're watching with like a 30-second delay, so we're still talking about health right now. So you're still talking about health. So we just need to vamp during this time until, something comes up. Hex was way too excited about prostate exams.
I'm just curious about things. I mean, if I had Nick's body for a day, then I know what I would be doing.
Taking advantage of being tall, and then at the end, boink! Okay, I've got a question. We'll keep it medical related. Have you guys had your appendix removed?
Nope.
Yes, and I'm going to tell the story very quickly.
You had your appendix removed?
I was on cadets. I was in year 10. The deputy headmaster of our school, who was a major in the army, it was a whole military thing at my school, did not believe that I was sick. I started complaining of really feeling bad.
I've heard so many stories.
24 hours went by. Finally, my platoon leader, who was like a year 12 student, went, "Nick is not right. He needs to get out of here." The deputy headmaster then put me in a car, drove me around for a day while he checked on everyone else who was out camping. Finally took me back to base that night. He put me on a balcony to lie down, and the nurse came up and touched my stomach and went, "He needs to go to the ER right now." They raced me to the hospital, which was 40 minutes away, went in, and they put me into surgery immediately. They were like, "No, we need to operate."
Because if it bursts, it's like...
If it burst, I would have got septicemia and died because I was in the middle of the bush. And he did not. It was the worst experience. Oh my God, my parents went off at that school. So that was wild.
Yeah. I had a friend who's... had a similar thing where he just went to like a bunch of doctors and they were like, yeah, stomach cramps, and he was just like, yeah, but they're really bad.
And it's like really hard here.
Yeah. And it got to the point where his appendix burst, and then he got like, he was in the hospital for like 3 or 4 weeks because then he ended up, all the fluid went into his lungs, and then he got pneumonia, and it was like,
why do we have it?
Oh,
Why do we have it? Just get him out at birth. I say, I'm going to go home tonight and remove banjos. It's just safer that way. I'll do it one-handed while playing Gwent. Just cutting the little dude
When
open.
are we going to evolve not to have that? That and wisdom teeth we don't need.
We need neither of those things. But what we do need is more of your attention, and you can see us all next week here on screenplay.
Oh, that was a smooth segue.
Wasn't that? Until you pointed that out. This has been fun.
It's been really fun.
It's been good to get back to Earl Grey tea.
Thanks so much for asking us questions. We love them. We love talking about games or tax, menopause,
Yep. Prostate exams, swapping bodies,
appendicitis,
dog porn, all the good stuff.
Dog porn.
All the stuff that we're really hoping no one above us at Channel 7 is watching.
What a ride. Instead of dancing for my traditional Facebook Live outstream, I'm going to take my
half-chewed mint leaf?
the mint leaf that you forced into my mouth, Nick, that I spat out.
That is not a good dream feed then, because you were supposed to eat that and stay asleep.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Bye. Thanks so much, guys. It's been wild.
Oh shit, now it's on the... What was that you were saying about not liking a sticky table?
Too close. Way too close.
This has been Answer the Facebook live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Half-eaten mint leaf.
Too close.
Too close.
What is happening?